Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a tragic drowning in Fairfield, a bank robbery suspect on the loose, and a Wilton man arrested for killing black bears. Frank Nito is keeping an eye on the tropical storm headed our way, and he also has a Nutmeg sports update for us later in the show. Donald Lang will join us also to take a look back on this day in history. But first, a 17-year-old Fairfield man died after being pulled from Perry's Mill Pond Saturday evening. According to the Connecticut Post, just after 6 p.m. Saturday, the Fairfield Emergency Communication Center received a report of a possible drowning at the pond at 757 Sturgis Road. Fairfield Police deployed its police dive team, which responded and began a water rescue operation. At just before 7 p.m., the police dive team officers pulled an unresponsive teenage male from the water. Life-saving efforts were immediately started as he was brought to a waiting ambulance and transported to the hospital. However, he eventually died from his injuries, according to Fairfield Police Chief Gary McNamara. McNamara said police aren't yet releasing the victim's name and that incident is still under investigation. In other news, Monroe police are seeking the public's assistance in finding the individual responsible for an armed robbery at the People's Bank at 435 Main Street on September 14th. Now, police responded to a holdup alarm at the bank at 6 in the evening. According to police, bank employees reported that just before closing, a man entered the bank and demanded cash from a teller. The suspect, described as a white male between 25 to 30 years old, brandished a handgun at the time. Police said no injuries were reported and the suspect left the bank with an undetermined amount of cash. Now, the police are asking that anyone who observed anything suspicious around the Route 25, Route 59 area or have any knowledge of that incident to contact Monroe Police at 203-261-3622. Now, the Connecticut Bankers Reward Association is also offering a $1,000 reward for any information leading to an arrest. And Ridgefield resident Mauro Tropiano pleaded not guilty to second-degree assault charge for the shooting of a teenage girl during an attempted car theft outside his home in Ridgefield this past June. Now, Eugene Riccio, a Bridgeport attorney representing Tropiano, confirmed to the press that Tropiano, who's 33 years old, is pleading not guilty to additional charges against him. He's also charged with unlawful discharge of a firearm and interfering with an officer, according to Police Captain Jeff Kreitz of the Ridgefield Department. Now, Tropiano also faces drug charges after police searched his home and found 7 pounds of marijuana, $26,000 in cash stuffed in a plastic bucket, more than 200 unmarked pills, and several firearms. Police searched the home after neighbors reported hearing gunshots in the early morning of June 5th in 2 separate 911 calls. Riccio said that he had filed a motion with the Danbury Superior Court to have Tropiano's Range Rover, which the gang of teens attempted to steal, released from police evidence. Now, in that June incident, a 15-year-old girl from Waterbury was shot in the back during what police say was an attempt to steal Tropiano's Range Rover. She was later released from the hospital after doctors were unable to remove the bullet due to its location near her spine. Now, she is being charged with conspiracy to commit larceny in the first degree for that attempted car theft, along with another 16-year-old girl, also from Waterbury. And in some big news today, MGM is unveiling plans for a $675 million privately financed waterfront resort in Bridgeport. And the Connecticut Post reports that the gaming giant is touting it as an economic and jobs boon. Now, according to a story by Neil Vigdor, the developers of MGM Bridgeport are promising to create at least 2,000 permanent jobs and an annual tax revenue stream of $316 million for the cash-strapped state upon completion of the hotel, casino, shopping center, boardwalk, and marina. An economic impact study commissioned by MGM anticipates the creation of another 5,779 ancillary jobs in construction and local business. Now, a 2021 opening date is being eyed by MGM, but for that to happen, the legislature and the governor must reopen the approval process for a new casino and likely go back on their deal with the Mohegan tribe and Mashantucket Pequot tribal nation for a casino north of Hartford. Now, the two federally recognized tribes which operate Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods have exclusive casino development rights in the state. And in other news, the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection received an anonymous report on Saturday that an archery hunter had illegally shot and killed 2 black bears on private property in Wilton, and that eventually led to the arrest of 2 men. Now, Environmental Conservation Police responded and said that Antonio Leo, age 28 of Wilton, was seen exiting the woods allegedly carrying a bearskin, head, and paws stored in his backpack. He was accompanied by a second person, 33-year-old Daniel Moran of Norwalk. Norwalk. Now, Leo allegedly said he shot a bear as it was walking under his tree stand. Leo further admitted that he shot and killed a second bear that approached him while he was checking on the first deceased bear. Now, Leo told Encon police he texted Moran to assist in retrieving the bears. Upon arrival, Moran and Leo allegedly skinned the first bear, cutting off its paws and head for a trophy mount. After the initial investigation, both men were arrested. Leo was charged with illegal taking of a black bear and negligent hunting in the 4th degree. Now, Moran was charged with conspiracy to commit illegal taking of a black bear. Both Leo and Moran are scheduled to appear in Norwalk Superior Court on September 28th. And a Monroe woman who claimed to have been held captive by her armed boyfriend in Trumbull Wednesday has been arrested on charges of falsely reporting an incident. The report caused police to close access to the Royce of Trumbull apartments on Old Town Road for about 5 hours and left students that lived there stranded when they were not allowed to board buses home due to the police activity. Now, police said Friday morning that 31-year-old Lauren Pires of Monroe claimed to have been someone else in her call to police and had falsely reported the incident in order to have her estranged husband arrested. Now, she was arrested Thursday and charged with falsely reporting an incident, breach of peace, and interfering with police. She was released on a $25,000 bond for court September 25th. The incident first began Wednesday about 1 p.m. when a woman contacted authorities and claimed to have been held captive by her boyfriend who had a weapon. She reported that she was being held against her will at an apartment at the Royce. That report prompted the activation of the Southwest Regional Emergency Response Team and several other agencies to investigate that incident. Now, several residents had to be evacuated from their homes and nearby schools were put into lockdown mode. You can get more on that story at TrumbleTimes.com. And Darien police are investigating the theft of several $100s worth of cooking oil from Jimmy's Southside. An employee from Yellow Green Environmental Solutions, a company responsible for recycling the used oil, contacted police on September 5th to report the theft. Now, cooking grease was stolen another time from Jimmy's Southside earlier this year. According to police, the lock on the outdoor oil container had been cut and the oil was removed. The missing grease was valued at $600, and the employee told police that several other locations he visited had been targeted as well. A canvass of the scene did not produce any further evidence, but the investigation is ongoing. All right, well, taking a turn now, we're going to get a look at the forecast with Frank Granito. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And there's a tropical storm watch in effect now for Fairfield County as of 6 p.m. on Sunday night. We get a look here at Hurricane Jose getting ready to make its way up the East Coast. It was about 650 miles south of New York City and due east of South Carolina on Sunday. The Weather Service predicts that Hurricane Jose will track northward through the western Atlantic waters by the midweek and pass southeast of that tropical storm watch area late tomorrow night and into Wednesday morning. Let's look ahead at the forecast for the next 3 days. We could see isolated showers starting this afternoon, mostly cloudy and a high near 75. Still a little humid out there as we saw a lot of that over the weekend. There's a 40% chance of showers tonight and a low of 64. Tomorrow, rain expected to begin as it'll be cloudy. Temperatures in the high to 60s to low 70s. Northeast winds around 15 to 18 miles per hour, and the chance of precipitation will be at 80%. 50% chance of showers overnight on Tuesday, and then we're expecting to get more rain into Wednesday as the storm passes the Fairfield County area in the Atlantic Ocean. We'll keep an eye on this storm throughout the week, and we hope that you get ready to break out the raincoats and umbrellas the next couple of days. That's going to do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, Donald Ang joins us to take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and there's more local news after this.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
At Portofino Restaurant and Wine Bar in Bethel, fresh and simple food is our concept. Owned and operated by brothers Rocco and Louie, Portofino has a distinct and diverse food and drink menu. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Come join us for live local music on Tuesdays and Sundays, Wednesday nights for mouthwatering prime rib, and every Thursday night is ladies' night. Planning a party? All our catering menus are personalized to suit your event and your budget. Join us at the Dolan Plaza, 213 Greenwood Ave, Bethel, and call us at 203-797-8131. Like us on Facebook. Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today.
At Art Play in Ridgefield, we encourage students at a young age to unleash their creativity. Art Play is about hands-on exploration of mixed media, acrylic, and collage for ages 4 to 12. Older kids welcome. Classes meet weekly at Jesse Lee Church, Main Street, Ridgefield. Find us on Facebook at Art Play at Jesse Lee. Whether you're looking for a great test prep program, tutoring to boost your grades, or a blast-off toward the college of your dreams, C2 Education is here to help. There is nothing one-size-fits-all about our programs. We offer customized tutoring and test prep for each student. Call us today at 203-423-3328. Whether you're looking... Welcome back to this September 18th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. Time to throw it over to Donald Eng to take a look back on this day in history. Don.
Well, Kate, it was a startling admission from a future president. First, though, we go back to 1714. George I, the first Hanover king, also an elector in Germany, arrives in Great Britain to be coronated following the death of his cousin, Queen Anne. Now, George was 54 years old at the time, but he assumed the throne despite the fact that more than 50 other people were more closely related to Anne, but they were all Catholic and therefore ineligible. Fun fact, George had an interest in language and spoke German, French, Latin, Italian, and a little bit of Dutch, but no English. 1793, George Washington lays the cornerstone of the Capitol building. Congress would hold its first session in the unfinished building in 1800. Starting in 1850, the growing numbers of states meant that it was too small and had to be renovated and about doubled in size. The Capitol Dome, by the way, not completed until 1866. 1870 now, Old Faithful Geyser is observed and named by Henry Washburn during the Washburn-Langford-Doane expedition to Yellowstone. Now, Old Faithful now erupts about every 90 minutes or so, sending up to 8,000 gallons of boiling water 150 feet into the air. Believe it or not, in the early days of the National Park System, Old Faithful was used by the soldiers stationed there as a washing machine. Yes, you pack your clothing into a pillowcase, stuff it into the geyser hole there, and then when you find them, they're spotlessly clean. Now though, we go to 1973. Check this out.
Gathered in a schoolyard with about 20 other men, and we saw a bright light appear in the distant western skies, and it got closer and closer, and when it was just above the treetops, it changed color, and then it stayed there for a while, and then it disappeared into the distance. And none of us could ever imagine what it was, and I still don't know what it was.
Was President Jimmy Carter, who on this day in 1973, while governor of Georgia, filed a report with the National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomenon, claiming that he had seen a UFO 4 years earlier. Now today, Carter is best known for building houses and questionable foreign policy decisions, but he also had a reputation for being observant and analytical, which is why the Navy picked him to develop nuclear submarine technology. The last Seawolf is named after him. He's also a teetotaler, so there's that particular explanation for what he saw is probably off the table also. But that is your look back in history for today, September 18th, and I'm Donald Eng.
Thanks so much, Don. Well, in Stratford, the public has started weighing in on allowing medical marijuana dispensaries in town, with some supporting the idea and others urging caution at a recent zoning commission meeting. Now, 2nd District Councilman Scott Farrington-Posner said people with serious illnesses like cancer and multiple sclerosis need marijuana to sleep and avoid pain and to function. Now, Farrington-Posner, who is a licensed massage therapist, said the Milford medical marijuana dispensary next to his work facility has never caused any trouble. But former Deputy Police Chief Paul Aurelia said the issue needs to be considered carefully, noting that use of marijuana remains illegal under federal law. The drug can be abused and dispensaries are a cash business. Now, 9th District Councilman Alan Lewin said more time should be allowed for public input on a decision of this magnitude, calling it a very critical and impacting decision. But you can get a lot more on that story at stratfordstar.com. All right, let's throw it back over to Frank Granito for Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank, busy weekend again.
Another busy weekend, Kate, and a very exciting one on Friday night. We got to see West Hill and Norwalk, two teams coming into week 2 at 1-0, and two teams hoping to make the jump into the next level amongst FCX competition. It was an exciting game from start to finish, and at the end of it all, the Vikings able to pull out a difficult road victory, 26-21, as they outlast the Norwalk Bears. 4 interceptions thrown by the sophomore Kyle Gordon, ultimately the difference in this game. And Saquon Kelly was absolutely tremendous out of the backfield, rushing for 2 touchdowns to lead the Vikings. Let's take a look at the highlights from Testa Field on Friday night.
Bears show blitz.
Kona plenty patient. Now the line, Jack Judge arms goes up, 5 seconds remaining. Strike on the right side, they connect, and in for the score is Mateer. Noodles on the board.
Any untoward action.
3rd and 9, and a quick hitter to the right side. Elliott made his man go down, and now it is a foot race, and it's one he does not often lose. Touchdown, Norwalk.
What a conversion on 3rd down for the Norwalk Bears. You've got Elliott, gets out there, quick move, looked like almost a hitch and go, Frank. He gets the corner to bite, the corner goes down, and then nobody's catching him.
Bone break out for the kickoff again. Mateer and Turen are deep to receive. You can see Mateer is standing in the middle of the field. They are favoring that left side. It's an end-over-end kick that Turen fields over his shoulder. Trying to reverse Fields now as he gets to the numbers on the left side, and he's got a lane. Only one man to beat, and he is gone.
No flags, Frank. That one's going to count.
91 yards, and the Vikings respond. Keep an eye at A.J. Hall on the bottom of your screen. As they go with the jump pass, Elliott waiting on the other end. Touchdown, Bears.
Great play. They bled Elliott out. He got behind it, and I don't think anybody knew he was there other than Gordon. I don't know if we've seen Kelly go down on first contact yet tonight.
I go right back to him again on 2nd down with a big hole out in front. Now in a foot race to the left corner, heading for the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. Either way, penalty stands. 2nd and 20 as Gordon drops back. Up into the pocket and trying to loft one up to the middle, and it's intercepted. Waiting for that one was John Mendez. Now reading his blockers as he heads for the far sideline. Mendez is wrapped up, shoved out of bounds, and a flag comes flying in for what will most likely be a late hit. Turen is alone at the top of the
game Friday night as the Vikings outlast the Bears. Other winners from around the conference this weekend included Darien, Ridgefield, New Canaan, Trumbull, and Staples on Friday night. Saturday afternoon, St. Joe's held off Fairfield Ward, and we were at Trinity Catholic High School on Saturday afternoon. The Greenwich Cardinals, though, another big Saturday afternoon win. 49-7, they took care of business against the Crusaders. We're going to have a full breakdown and highlights of that game on a special Nutmeg Sports pregame show this afternoon from Stanford High School. We get ready to see the defending state and FCX champion Stanford Black Knights girls volleyball squad for the first time this season when they host the Ridgefield Tigers. That game starts at 4 p.m., but again, we're on the air at 3:30 with a Nutmeg Sports pregame show. Kevin Coleman will join me. We'll break down this weekend's action in football. And Kate, for the first time this fall, we will have our Athlete of the Week nominees brought to you by Ortho CT.
All right, very excited about that, Frank. Thank you so much. Well, in other local news, the Weston Board of Selectmen has canceled a town meeting that was tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, October 4th for a vote on construction of a proposed dog park on town-owned property on David Hill Road. Now, at the board's special meeting on Thursday, September 14th, the selectmen addressed issues and concerns about the dog park raised by neighbors and opponents of the plan at last week's public hearing. Now, in response to public safety concerns, town engineer John Conte presented 2 alternatives for the relocation of the dog park entrance and driveway driveway to adjust traffic and sightline issues. Now, the selectmen favored the second alternative, which would change the dog park entrance from Davis Hill Road, where it was proposed, to Lourdes Highway East. Now, the town's meeting was canceled in order to give Conte time to do a field study, get a survey done showing the new driveway, and prepare some cost estimates for the new proposal. He said he would not have all of that done by October 4th, but there's a lot more on that story at thewestonforum.com. Well, the Wilton Board of Selectmen recently approved guidelines for selling and advertising at Wilton High School's football stadium that include the exclusion of political content. Now, the long-term policies were approved for use by Town Council Ira Bloom, who examined them and determined they were lawful, according to Selectman David Clune, who's leading the drive to sell ads at the Memorial Stadium and Lilly Field. Now, Clune said in April we'll start lining up people for the following year. He was hopeful about getting big corporations to sign multi-year advertising agreements. Now, after a year of study and preparation, the Wilton Board of Selectmen is prepared to raise money from selling those ads, including printed banners visible to the home and guest bleachers, which could help pay for maintenance of the new turf field, which was installed last summer. More on that story at wiltonbulletin.com. Well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following on your coffee break after this.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care gives you direct access to orthopedic specialists fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care can help. Open 7 days a week now at 3 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue, Norwalk, 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien, or in the Westport Medical Center at 323 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Go to coastalorthoct.com. Like them on Facebook.
At the office of Dr. David Oshiro of Darien, we provide high-quality and personalized orthodontic treatment in a professional and caring environment. We make treatment fun for our young patients and believe it's never too late to have a healthy and beautiful smile. Call now for an appointment and find out more at droshiro.com.
The leaves are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN network.
Welcome back to this Monday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. A 17-year-old Fairfield man died after being pulled from Perry's Mill Pond Saturday evening. According to the Connecticut Post, at just after 6 p.m. Saturday, the Fairfield Emergency Communication Center received a report of a possible drowning at the pond at 757 Sturgis Road. Fairfield Police deployed its police dive team, which responded and began a water rescue operation. Just before 7 p.m., the dive team officers pulled an unresponsive teenage male from the water. Life-saving efforts were immediately started as he was brought to a waiting ambulance and transported to the hospital. However, he eventually died from his injuries, according to Fairfield Police Chief Gary McNamara. McNamara said police aren't yet releasing the victim's name and that incident is still under investigation. Monroe police are seeking the public's assistance in finding the individual responsible for an armed robbery at the People's Bank at 435 Main Street on September 14th. Police responded to a hold-up alarm at the bank at 6 p.m. According to police, bank employees reported that just before closing, a man entered the bank and demanded cash from a teller. The suspect, described as a white male between the ages of 25 and 30, brandished a handgun. Police said no injuries were reported and the suspect left the bank with an undetermined amount of cash. The police are asking that anyone who observed anything suspicious around the Route 25, Route 59 area or have any knowledge of the incident contact police at 203-261-3622. Now, the Connecticut Bankers Reward Association is offering a $1,000 reward for any information leading to an arrest. And in other news, Ridgefield resident Monroe has pleaded not guilty to a second-degree assault charge for the shooting of a teenage girl during an attempted car theft outside his home this past June. Now, Eugene Riccio, a Bridgeport attorney representing Tropiano, confirmed to the press that 33-year-old Tropiano is pleading not guilty to additional charges against him. Tropiano was also charged with unlawful discharge of a firearm and interfering with a police officer, according to Police Captain Jeff Kreitz of the Ridgefield Department. Now, he also faces drug charges after police searched his home and found 7 pounds of marijuana, $26,000 in cash stuffed in a plastic bucket, more than 200 unmarked pills, and several firearms. Police searched the home after neighbors reported hearing gunshots in the early morning of June 5th and 2 separate 911 calls. Riccio said that he had filed a motion with the Danbury Superior Court to have Tropiano's Range Rover, which the gang of teenagers attempted to steal, released from police evidence. Now, in that June incident, a 15-year-old girl from Waterbury was shot in the back during what police say was that attempt to steal the car. She was later released from the hospital after doctors were unable to remove the bullet due to its location near her spine. She is being charged with conspiracy to commit larceny in the first degree for that attempted theft, along with another 16-year-old girl who's also from Waterbury. And MGM is unveiling plans for a $675 million privately financed waterfront resort in Bridgeport. And the Connecticut Post reports that the gaming giant is touting it as an economic and jobs boon. Now, according to a story by Neil Vigdor, the developers of MGM Bridgeport are promising to create at least 2,000 permanent jobs and an annual tax revenue stream of $316 million for the cash-strapped state upon completion of that hotel, casino, shopping center, boardwalk, and marina. Now, an economic impact study commissioned by MGM anticipates the creation of another 5,700 jobs, ancillary jobs in construction and local business. Now, a 2021 opening date is being eyed by MGM, but for that to happen, the legislature and governor must reopen the approval process for a new casino and likely go back on their deal with the Mohegan tribe and the Mashantucket Pequot tribal nation for a casino north of Hartford. Those two federally recognized tribes, which operate Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods, have exclusive casino development rights in the state. And in other news, the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection received an anonymous report on Saturday that an archery hunter had illegally shot and killed 2 black bears on private property in Wilton, leading to the arrest of 2 men. Now, Environmental Conservation Police responded and said that 28-year-old Antonio Leo of Wilton was seen exiting the woods, allegedly carrying a bearskin head and paws in his backpack. Now, he was accompanied by a second person, Daniel Moran, age 33, of Norwalk. Leo allegedly said he shot the bear as it was walking under his tree stand. Leo further admitted that he shot and killed a second bear that approached him while he was checking on the first deceased bear. Now, Leo told Encon police that he texted Moran to assist in retrieving the bear. Upon arrival, Moran and Leo allegedly skinned the first bear, cutting off its paws and head for a trophy mount. After the initial investigation, both men were arrested. Leo was charged with illegal taking of a black bear, 2 counts, and negligent hunting in the 4th degree. Now, Moran was charged with conspiracy to commit illegal taking of a black bear. Both Leo and Moran are scheduled to appear in Norwalk Superior Court on September 28th. All right, let's take one final look at the forecast with Frank. It's not looking so great for the next couple of days, Frank.
No, not for the next couple of days. And as of 6 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, Kate, a tropical storm watch is in effect for Fairfield County. Hurricane Jose was about 650 miles south of New York City and due east of South Carolina. The Weather Service is predicting that Jose will track northward toward the western Atlantic waters through the midweek, passing by a southeast watch area, including Fairfield County, late Tuesday night and into Wednesday. Looking ahead to the next 3 days, we'll see some isolated showers later on this afternoon, highs near 75. Some more showers overnight and mostly cloudy with a low of 64. Showers are likely again on Tuesday, cloudy, temperatures in the low 70s, winds starting to pick up around 20 miles per hour. We could see more showers Tuesday night, cloudy again and still a little windy. Wednesday, 40% chance of showers. Pretty breezy out. We could see winds around 25, 30 miles per hour, high of 76. Wednesday night, things will start to clear up, and hopefully by Thursday, we'll have sunshine back around Fairfield County. We'll keep you updated on Hurricane Jose as it makes its way up the coast throughout the week. For now, though, we go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break, but still a busy day. Of course, 4 o'clock live girls volleyball, Ridgefield at Stanford, 3:30 a special Nutmeg Sports, and we'll see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11. Have a great day.